My girlfriend said, "I'll always be yours," but her search history showed flights for two. I stood in front of her laptop, heart racing, my hands trembling. I wasn't supposed to be going through her stuff, especially not like this. But there I was, clicking through tabs I never expected to see, staring at the screen like it might explode in front of me. The flights were for next month, round-trip tickets to Paris. But it wasn't just the tickets. It was the booking details. 2 people. 2 names. Not mine. I felt the blood drain from my face, and suddenly the air in the room felt thick and hard to breathe. My stomach turned, my throat tightening as I scanned the flight options. How could she be planning this behind my back? We'd been together for almost 2 years, and just days ago, she told me she loved me. She said I was the one, that there was no one else she'd ever want. But this? My mind was racing, trying to make sense of it. Was it a mistake? Maybe it was some kind of mix-up. Maybe there was some other explanation. But deep down, I knew there wasn't. I didn't need to dig further, but I did anyway. I clicked open a few more tabs, each one confirming my worst fear. I could see her conversations, laughing, talking about the trip, making plans for things to do in Paris, and then at the end of it, just a single line, "Can't wait to see you soon." I could feel my chest tightening with each click, the world around me starting to blur as I began to see everything I didn't want to see. She wasn't planning a surprise for me. She wasn't talking about our future. She was making plans with someone else. I felt a wave of nausea hit me. I wanted to cry, to scream, to throw the laptop across the room, but I just stood there, frozen, the reality of what I was seeing slowly sinking in. I couldn't just stand there. I couldn't ignore it. I slammed the laptop shut, my breath heavy as I ran my hands through my hair. I was pacing the apartment now, trying to gather my thoughts, trying to control my breathing. What was I supposed to do? What could I say? I had no idea how long this had been going on, how many lies she told me, how much of what we had was real. Every conversation we'd had about us suddenly felt like a lie. The trip, the plans, the intimacy we shared. Was it all just a game to her? I had to confront her. It was the only thing I could think to do. I couldn't just sit on this, not knowing where I stood, not knowing if she was planning to leave me for someone else. I waited until she came home that evening, sitting on the couch, trying to calm myself. The moment she walked in, everything inside of me wanted to confront her. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, each beat getting louder, more intense. She smiled when she saw me. That smile. The same one she always gave me, like nothing was wrong. And yet, everything was wrong. "Hey, babe," she said, setting down her bag and walking toward me. I stood up immediately, not knowing if I could keep it together. "We need to talk." Her expression changed. She could sense the shift in my tone, the heaviness in the air. "What's wrong?" she asked, her voice soft. Too soft. She had no idea I knew what she'd been hiding. I took a deep breath, forcing the words out, trying not to sound like I was about to lose it. I went through your laptop." Her eyes widened, just for a second, but it was enough for me to know. She didn't even try to deny it. She knew exactly what I'd found. I wasn't sure what I was expecting, but the silence that followed was worse than anything she could have said. I wanted to shout. I wanted to accuse her, but I needed to hear her say it. "Ben," she started, her voice shaking slightly, I didn't mean for you to find that. I didn't mean to hurt you." "Hurt me?" I could barely get the words out, the anger and confusion rising in my throat. "You're planning a trip to Paris. With him. A round-trip ticket for 2. And you're sitting here telling me you didn't mean to hurt me?" She flinched at my words, like she had been slapped. She looked down, avoiding my gaze. "Ben, it's not what you think." "No," I snapped. "It's exactly what I think." "So who is he?" I was almost growling now. "Who's the guy you're planning to go away with, huh?" It was a Tuesday night when we had this conversation. The same night we usually made dinner together, the same night we watched TV in our pajamas, like any other night. But everything had changed. In one moment, one discovery, the life we had shared felt like a lie. I couldn't even look at her the same way anymore. We had been living together for 1.5 years. When we first started dating, it felt like everything clicked into place. We were happy. I genuinely thought we were building something real, something solid. We talked about our future together, discussed the places we wanted to visit, even planned on getting a dog. It felt like we had everything we needed. But now, sitting there in front of her, I couldn't recognize the person I'd spent all this time with. She wasn't the same girl who would kiss me goodnight and tell me she loved me every day. She wasn't the girl who held my hand at the park or made me laugh with her dumb jokes. This person in front of me, this stranger, was telling me something entirely different. "I never meant for this to happen," she said quietly, her voice cracking, like she was trying to hold back tears. "It's just, I don't know. Things have been different. I've been confused. I've been feeling like I need something more, but I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't know how to tell you. You didn't know how to tell me." I repeated, my voice a little louder than I intended. "So you just hid it from me? You were planning a trip with someone else, lying to me, and you didn't think I deserved to know?" She shook her head, her eyes filling with tears. "No, it's not like that, Ben. He's just someone I've been talking to. It was supposed to be a one-time thing. A getaway to clear my mind. I didn't want to end things with you. I didn't want to lose you. But I was feeling lost, and I didn't know how to deal with it." The anger inside me was bubbling over now, threatening to break free. "You think I'm stupid? You think I wouldn't figure this out? You were planning a trip with him while telling me that I'm the one? You said you loved me, Mia. You said you were mine. I know, and I'm so sorry. But I didn't want to hurt you." She wiped her eyes, but I could see her struggling, trying to make sense of something that didn't make any sense at all. I stood up, pacing the room, trying to contain myself. I felt like my chest was going to explode. "You don't get to say you're sorry, Mia. You don't get to sit there and tell me you didn't want to hurt me when you've been lying this entire time." She stood up as well, taking a hesitant step toward me, but I shook my head. "No, don't. Just don't." The tears in her eyes hurt more than anything she could have said, because I realized then she wasn't crying for me. She wasn't crying for us. She was crying because she was sorry she'd been caught, and that made everything worse. "I don't think I can do this anymore," I said quietly, my voice shaking. "I don't think I can trust you. I don't think I can go back to the way things were." The words hung in the air between us like a 1,000-pound weight. Mia stood there, staring at me, but she didn't try to stop me when I walked past her, out of the apartment. I grabbed my jacket, and without another word, I left. I'm still not sure what to do now. I'm still not sure how to move on from the betrayal, the lies. I thought I knew her. I thought we had something real. But now I'm left picking up the pieces of a relationship that was never what I thought it was. If anyone has been through something like this, how did you move forward? How did you rebuild after finding out someone you loved was lying to you? I'm not sure where to go from here, but I know I can't stay in this limbo. Part 2. The next few days felt like a blur of confusion and numbness. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. Every time I closed my eyes, all I could see were the images of her, smiling with him, making plans for a future without me. Every time I opened my eyes, the world felt like it was somehow smaller, as if everything I knew had just collapsed under the weight of a secret I had never suspected. I didn't speak to Mia after that night. I couldn't. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know if I even wanted to hear her side of things anymore. What was there to say? She had been planning this trip for months, texting him about Paris, sharing intimate details about their plans as if I didn't exist. And yet, she had the audacity to look me in the eye and say, "I'll always be yours." I couldn't understand how someone who said those words could then turn around and betray me like this. I stayed at a friend's place for the first few days, trying to keep my distance from the apartment we'd shared. It felt like I was suffocating in there. The memories of our life together, our lazy mornings in bed, our late-night talks about the future, felt like lies. I kept telling myself I had to be strong. I couldn't let her do this to me. But no matter how many distractions I tried to throw at myself, the pain of it all lingered. I felt like I had no one to talk to. My friends were supportive, but I couldn't shake the feeling that they were tiptoeing around me. I could see it in their eyes, the pity, the discomfort. They didn't know how to help. They didn't know what to say, and honestly, neither did I. How could I explain that the person I trusted the most, the person who had promised me everything, had shattered that trust in the most cruel and careless way? I spent hours trying to understand why Mia did it. Was it me? Had I done something wrong? Had I somehow pushed her away without realizing it? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this wasn't about me at all. Mia had made a choice. She had decided to pursue something with him. She had decided to lie to me, and then she had decided to justify her actions. The more I thought about it, the angrier I became. It was the following Saturday when Mia finally reached out. She texted me at noon, just a simple message. "We need to talk. I'm sorry for everything." Might get twisted. I had been waiting for this moment. I had been expecting it. But when it finally came, I didn't know what I wanted anymore. I didn't know if I wanted answers or closure, or if I just wanted to scream at her until I couldn't breathe. I didn't respond immediately. Part of me was terrified. Terrified that if I gave her a chance to explain, I would somehow end up forgiving her. Terrified that I'd let her back in after everything she'd done. But the other part of me, the part that was still in love with her despite everything, wanted to hear her side. I want to know if she could somehow make sense of this. I spent the whole day wrestling with myself. At some point, I grabbed my phone and typed out a response. "I don't know if I can do this. I'm not ready to talk yet." But then I hesitated. I erased it. Then I typed, "Where do you want to meet?" She replied immediately. "There's a park near your old place. 3 p.m. I agreed. I don't know why I agreed. Maybe I thought hearing her out might help me understand. Maybe I wanted closure. Maybe I just wanted to see her again. I didn't know. When I arrived at the park, I could already see her sitting on the bench, waiting for me. I didn't know what to expect. Would she be crying? Would she be apologetic? Or would she sit there with that same smug indifference she had shown the last time we talked? I was preparing for the worst, but when I sat down next to her, I was surprised to see her looking smaller, more vulnerable than I'd ever seen her. Her face was pale, her eyes red and puffy. She had clearly been crying. She didn't look like the same confident woman I had once known. She looked like someone who was broken, and I hated that I still felt some sympathy for her. "I know I've hurt you," she said softly, her voice trembling. "I don't expect you to forgive me, but I need you to know that this wasn't easy for me either." I didn't say anything. I couldn't. The anger was still there, burning in my chest, but there was something else, too. A sadness, an emptiness that seemed to wash over me the longer I sat next to her. I had to fight not to break down. Mia continued, "I never meant for it to get this far. I never meant for it to hurt you this much. I thought I was just trying to find something. I don't know, maybe I was looking for something I wasn't getting from you, but that doesn't excuse what I did. I never should have lied to you." It was the same thing she had said before. Apologies, half-baked explanations, excuses, but I wasn't ready to accept any of them. "You never should have lied, Mia," I said, my voice cold. "You never should have kept things from me. And the fact that you're telling me all of this now, after I already know the truth, it's just too late." "I know," she whispered, her voice cracking. "I'm so sorry, Ben. I messed up. I never wanted to hurt you. I don't know what happened. I lost myself, and I didn't know how to fix it. And then I met him, and it just kind of happened. That's when I finally snapped. It just kind of happened. You planned a trip to Paris with him, Mia. That wasn't a mistake. That wasn't an accident. You lied to my face for months. How do you expect me to look at you the same way after all of that?" She looked down, tears streaming down her face. I couldn't look at her anymore. I had seen enough. "Ben, please," she said, her voice pleading. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but please, can we at least be friends? Can we make this work in some way?" I shook my head. "I can't. I don't think I can even look at you without remembering how you've treated me. I can't go back to that. I can't go back to us." I stood up, wiping my eyes quickly, trying not to let her see me crack. The truth was, I wasn't sure what came next. I didn't know how to pick up the pieces of my life after everything Mia had done. I didn't know how to forget the way she betrayed me, the way she lied to me for months. I didn't know how to move forward with the person I thought was my soulmate, now standing in front of me as a stranger. I didn't look back as I walked away from her, and I haven't heard from her since. I'm posting here because I feel stuck. I know the relationship is over, but how do you get over this kind of betrayal? How do you move on when you gave someone your all, only to find out they were planning their future with someone else all along? I'm struggling to even want to trust anyone again. I guess I'm asking for advice, or maybe just validation. Has anyone else gone through something like this? How did you rebuild yourself after a betrayal like this?